They were friends of Aaron and ended up staying an entire week.
Range Wilson, fitness, comedy, life.
When I got back to the Venice Beach condo after my trip to Albuquerque, I discovered that the roommate situation had gotten even more tense. Sasha was fun, but simply irresponsible as a housemate. I began to agree with Aaron and grant that Sasha had to go. As it turned out, Sasha made it easy on us when she demanded a reduction in her rent. Aaron was having none of that idea, so Sasha simply packed up and moved out. Her replacement turned out to be a recent Oklahoma University graduate named David. David had moved to Hollywood to find gainful employment, a necessary condition if he wanted to inherit his multi-million-dollar trust fund when he reached the necessary age. Hollywood was full of these trust fund kids, but unlike most of them, David was completely down to earth and drama-free. He was a refreshing change from Sasha. In the meantime, I had gradually lost touch with the three women from Albuquerque, Yvonne, Tracy, and Susan. There did not seem to be a future with any of them, especially considering any relationship would be long distance. I also decided not to pursue the business plan opportunity with Phil, even though he wanted to pay me $2,500 to do so. If I was going to do any writing, I wanted it to be a screenplay. Then, as an additional distraction from my screenwriting, 4 college girls from Auburn showed up at the condo for spring break. They were friends of Aaron and ended up staying an entire week. You would think that that situation would lead to all sorts of adventures, but that turned out not to be the case. The problem was I simply had nothing in common with these girls. They were rich sorority girls, which is pretty much the exact opposite of the type of woman I prefer. Instead of natural beauty, they sported breast implants and nose jobs that were high school graduation gifts from their fathers. They were at college not out of any intellectual curiosity, but simply to get their tickets punched on the way to the good life. Despite all that, I did my best to be a good host. It turned out the cutest one took somewhat of a liking to me. On the last day there, she kept giving me the bedroom eyes. Even so, I made up an excuse to skip the big night out that Aaron had planned. The chance of getting a little action was simply not worth the mental anguish that would have resulted from spending an entire evening talking about nothing. In the meantime, I had decided to make some professional quality 20 by 30 prints of my photography. I used a service bureau in Northern California that had a reputation for top-notch production values. They absolutely nailed it, and I had the photos professionally framed as well and just put them up on the wall in the living room without telling anyone anything about them. Only after my housemates asked me did I admit that I had actually taken the photos. All of my housemates were suitably impressed, and several of Aaron's friends said that I should sell my photos professionally. The guy at the framing shop said the same thing, but I did not do anything about it at the time, and I have still not done anything about it. But one of these days I just might. If that's the sort of thing you are interested in, please keep an eye on my website. The link is in the description below. The feedback on my photography was a nice ego boost and made me realize that it was time to get more serious about my creative endeavors. I resolved to spend more time working on my screenplays and less time going out drinking and womanizing. Of course, I would still have adventures from time to time, but first I had the opportunity to clarify my job situation. Tune in next time to find out what happens when I got offered $30,000 a year to do nothing. Until then, click the logo to subscribe, the playlist to catch up on my life videos, or watch a video that YouTube has picked for you personally. My name is Range Wilson, and I'll see you next time.